stations is Pella Christian Boys Basketball versus Van Meter. And a lot of action right now that we're keeping track of for you here for the Eagles. We got the JV game currently going on, the varsity game getting ready to start in a moment. For the boys side of things, the varsity girls squad is up at Bondurant. Farrar playing right now. They trail 10-8 with 4:39 to play in the second quarter up there in Bondurant. So we'll keep tabs on that one for you throughout tonight's contest. It's myself, Tyler Crabb, here with you for pregame coverage as of right now. Aaron Stoltz will be joining us here in a little bit, but he is currently sitting on the bench doing the assistant coaching for Dan Branderhorst for the junior varsity game here. And so we will have him join us here when he is able to, and we'll jump into our McKay Group radio keys to the game. And I think the biggest key tonight for the Eagles is going to be the return of a few guys who are out on Tuesday and just offensively getting the offense going. Offense was difficult to come by against Norwalk the other night. Had a nice third quarter, but the other three quarters just weren't able to get many points on the board, and it allowed Norwalk to build up some leads that made it tough for the Eagles with not being able to get much going on the offensive end of things. So that'll be our McKay Group radio keys to the game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. We'll come back. We'll get Aaron's keys to the game as well, presented by McKay Group when the time comes, when he makes it up here. But we will go ahead and leave it there. We'll come back, and we will have more pregame coverage of Pella Christian versus Van Meter in boys basketball on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel after this.
Mom and Dad are going to love this. Pingle's Home Store has appliances now. Refrigerators, washers, dryers, everything for our house. And Pingle's still has the best stuff for kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, and bedrooms too. New appliances and the same great service. Awesome!
Now at Pingle's Home Store, top brand appliances, refrigerators, washers, dryers, and more. Pingle's Home Store is now your appliance headquarters too.
Peaceful, accessible, convenient. That's the new Sunset Acres subdivision just west of Pella off Highway 163. Hi, I'm John Holterhouse with Pella Real Estate Services. There are 36 lots between 3 and 7 acres in custom-built spec homes already in progress from great local builders like Davidson and Goodike and Main Street Builders. Buy now and you could even choose your own finishes. Or buy a lot and bring your own builder. Start planning your dream home in Sunset Acres by calling 628-1BUY for Pella Real Estate Services.
At Integrity Comfort Solutions, we've been your local, trusted experts on new construction, plumbing, heating, and cooling for over 50 years. We're excited to now offer service. Don't let a breakdown disrupt your comfort. Let our expert team get you back on track. Call us at 641-628-4093 or visit integrity-comfort.com and let our experts work for you. Integrity Comfort Solutions. Let's get comfortable.
Vanderlinden Services is your trusted family-owned plumbing and HVAC business. I'm Austin Vanderlinden. Our team has years of experience and commitment to treating every customer like family, and our trusted technicians take pride in their work. Plus, we offer the best in York HVAC residential and commercial systems. Call me today for reliable, friendly service that you can trust. Vanderlinden Services, the best for the job.
At Element Siding and Windows, we do it right the first time. Hi, I'm Andrew Thomason, owner of Element. We're locally owned and proud to have the same dedicated team on every project, the same faces you'll see from start to finish, no random subcontractors. We don't leave your project until it is complete and you are completely satisfied. Your details and your budget matter to us, and we'll work with you to bring your vision to life. You have a dream, we'll make it happen. Find us on Facebook at Element Siding and Windows.
If you have a big vaulted ceiling in your living room, how long have you had your current ceiling fan? Probably longer than you want to admit. It's a daunting task to think about replacing something 15 to 20 feet in the air. At Centerpoint Electric, we're here to help with any electrical problem you have, big or small. We'll install the new ceiling fan, and you can have a clean, modern look without any of the nervous work at the top of a ladder. Check us out online at centerpoint-electric.com. We're wired for excellence.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Again, busy night for Eagles Athletics. The Junior Varsity boys leading Van Meter 46-20 with a minute 59 to play in the fourth quarter. Pella Christian girls basketball team up at Monterey Farrar playing right now, trailing 13-8 with a minute 40 to play in the second quarter. And here on Eagle Lane, the Pella Christian and Van Meter varsity boys basketball teams are awaiting their opportunity to play tonight in what should be a really, really good contest between these two teams. Van Meter, a team that got off to kind of a slow start to the season, but they have turned it around in a big way since Christmas. They've been able to really find their stride and are playing well. And I know, talking to Coach Steinkamp, they're very excited about the possibilities in this matchup and just the opportunities of what could be learned and what can be done for seeding come later this season. So should be a really fun, high-energy matchup that we'll get into here a little bit more in just a moment. But let's go first to our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. And it is, I've got two numbers. We're going to go with the higher one, 14, because 14 makes me feel a little bit better about it outside. But 14 degrees is our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating. And while it's only 14 degrees outside, it's nice and comfortable here inside the Pella Christian High School gym. If your home isn't staying comfortable during this cold Iowa winter, call on the heating and cooling experts at Van Haften Plumbing and Heating in Pella. You'll rest easy when you pick up the phone. And here,
Van Haften.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more pregame coverage of Pella Christian versus Van Meter boys basketball here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
This is Mike at Langstrad Auto Body, and I know a visit to my shop is not on the top of your list of favorite things to do this week. I don't take it personally. Chances are when it's time to come see me, you've hit a deer or had some other unpleasant experience on the road that you just didn't plan on. The good news is
it's better. Stop by or apply online today at cfirstcu.com. Subject to credit approval and program qualifications. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Rev up your ride with unbeatable deals at PellaMotors.com. We're dealing so you can drive away happy. Don't miss out on our incredible offers on Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Find your perfect ride at PellaMotors.com.
At Pella Insurance, they strive to provide you with bend-over-backward service to protect your home, auto, business, farm, life, and health. Pella Insurance is a local independent agency that has been serving the Pella community for over 30 years with a mission to provide you with a more holistic approach to your insurance needs. With access to a multitude of industry-leading carriers, they are focused on assisting their customers with protecting and maximizing their assets, resources, and opportunities. Call Pella Insurance at 628-9235.
So I'm pregnant and I'm excited, but wow, there's so much to think about. Prenatal, delivery, breastfeeding.
That's exactly how I felt with my first and why I chose Pella Regional. Their family birthing center is amazing. Private suites, cozy recovery spaces, even a dedicated OR for C-sections if you need it. Plus, support before and after that makes you feel taken care of.
Wow, and that's all right here in South Central Iowa?
Yes, of course it's here. Pella Regional Health Center is truly unmatched. Explore for yourself at pellahealth.org/baby.
Local is our heartbeat. Since 1935, Marion County Bank has backed local businesses with real relationships and real solutions. We've helped our neighbors buy their first or forever homes and delivered practical banking options that fit your story every step of the way. We invite you to celebrate local and bank local. Come see us today. Marion County Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
At the Cartrol gas station at Two Rivers Cooperative in Pella, we now have a diesel blender pump with 5 different options available. Now through March, you can select straight number 1 diesel or choose from 4 different blends of number 1 and number 2 to get the right mix to keep your diesel vehicle from gelling during our cold Iowa winter. Look for our diesel blender pump at the Cartrol gas station at Two Rivers Cooperative in Pella.
The home and field advantage, Two Rivers Co-op.
This is Dr. Tim Yoder with Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. February is National Pet Dental Month, and I'd like to encourage you to schedule an oral exam for your pet. All of our dental services are discounted during the month of February, including cleaning of the teeth, polishing of the teeth, and dental surgery where needed. Call today to schedule your pet's oral checkup at 628-4040 for Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella, where your pet's good health is our number one concern.
No, the veterinarians.
Yes, we are. We're the veterinarians.
They take care of pets because they love them.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is coming up fast, and yes, it's on a Saturday, so no work delivery to save us this year. If you scramble like I do every year, Thistle's Flower Market in Pella makes it easy. Pre-order 2 of her favorites in one stop. Beautiful flowers and Garden Square chocolates. Simple, thoughtful, and stress-free. Skip the panic, plan smart, and show her you love her. Thistle's Flower Market, because every last minute doesn't have to look like the last minute.
Hi, this is Levi Spain with Spain Painting in Pella, and I'm in the process of putting together our team for 2026. We have a lot of work on the books for the spring, summer, and fall, and I'm looking for good people who want to work hard and take pride in what they do. We have high standards at Spain Painting, and our customers expect high-quality results. If that's you, I'd love to talk to you about joining our team. Visit spain-painting.com and find my info on the contact page. Spain Painting in Pella. Experience, quality, results.
The wipers in the car go swish, 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 swish. The wipers in the car go swish, swish, swish at Central Tire and Auto.
Winter brings slushy, sleety, icy weather that's even more annoying if your wipers can't keep your windshield clean. For tires, front-end work, their no-appointment oil change, full mechanical work on your vehicle, and the important little things like new wipers, stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella.
At Central Tire and Auto. Mama and Dad are going to love this. Pingle's Home Store has appliances now. Refrigerators, washers, dryers, everything for our house. And Pingle's still has the best stuff for kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, and bedrooms, too. New appliances and the same great service. Awesome!
Now at Pingle's Home Store, top brand appliances, refrigerators, washers, dryers, and more. Pingle's Home Store is now your appliance headquarters, too.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. We've got a full slate of basketball here tonight for the Eagles. JV boys winning big here just moments ago against Van Meter, and both varsity teams have taken the court to warm up. Currently, the Pella Christian girls lead 16-8 at halftime in a Pingle's Home Store instant radio update. We also, as part of that, North Polk, beating Pella in boys wrestling 45-36 this evening. And that's a Pingle's Home Store instant radio update. And we'll look at our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard for the first time here this evening. As we mentioned, the Pella Christian girls are up at Bondurant Farrar, trailing 16-8 at halftime. The boys getting ready to take on Van Meter here. We don't really have much in the way of basketball this evening, but North Polk defeating Pella in boys wrestling. Knoxville taking on Carlisle in boys wrestling. Newton taking on North Mahaska in boys wrestling. Also in boys wrestling action, you have PCM versus Albia and Pleasantville versus Linville-Sully. Pleasantville also taking on Linville-Sully in boys and girls basketball. Twin Cedars boys basketball, they take on Moravia in the Bluegrass Conference Tournament. Melcher Dallas taking on Seymour in the Bluegrass Conference Tournament for the boys. And then Central Men's Wrestling taking on Morris tonight. That is our first look at the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Marion County's financial leader is Marion County Bank. With offices in Pella, Knoxville, and Melcher Dallas, they're serving you and building community across the county. And we're getting ready. Aaron Stoltz has made his way up here. We'll give him a second to get all situated. He's got plenty of time as we're just making do. We'll go ahead and take another timeout, and we'll come back and get you more pregame coverage when we return here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
When you work with the LIS team of certified financial planner professionals, you get the luxury of options. Whether you're moving, retiring, or looking for a change, stop by and meet with one of our financial advisors for a free 30-minute consultation. You can gain access to a wide range of resources and an experienced team dedicated to answering any questions you might have. To schedule a time to meet, call or text us at 641-628-1000. 1021.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA/SIPC, not FDIC approved, no bank guarantee, may lose value, not deposit, not insured by any federal government agency.
Hey everyone, it's Tegan Vanderwaal, Ork Ford Lincoln in Pella. The end of the year brought a ton of fresh trade-ins and our pre-owned inventory is packed. We've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, trucks, SUVs, minivans, and cars, priced to fit any budget. You'll find a variety of makes, models, trims, and features. Plus, for extra peace of mind, our lifetime powertrain warranty is included on most vehicles 2021 and newer with under 100,000 miles. That's a difference you won't find everywhere. Backed by our award-winning customer service. At Ork Ford Lincoln, we're taking care of you.
As the days grow longer, the anticipation grows. For the spring opening of Vandenberg's Greenhouse in Albia, be patient. Russ and Becky are working hard, getting everything ready, including several new things, plants, flowers, and shrubs, and so many new things we don't have time to mention. Keep listening and watching the Vandenberg's Greenhouse Facebook page for more information on the spring opening at Vandenberg's Greenhouse, 1405 Highway 5, Albia. Vandenberg's Greenhouse, worth the short drive.
New look, additional providers, same trusted care. The Pleasantville Clinic now offers expanded provider coverage in our newly remodeled and updated clinic. Dr. Shannon Remington sees patients Monday through Thursday. Dr. Tim McCoy sees patients Wednesday morning and all day Friday. And nurse practitioner Brandy Booth sees patients Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The Pleasantville Clinic supports community members of all ages by providing routine and comprehensive health care close to home. To schedule your appointment today, call 515-848-3113.
Winter's here, but your roof still needs the best. At Dutch Mill Supply, they offer top-quality CertainTeed shingles to keep your home protected all season long. Durable, reliable, and designed for winter weather, CertainTeed shingles ensure your roof stands strong against snow, ice, and wind.
Dutch Mill Supply, located in Pella, is your only locally owned, one-stop, full-service lumberyard and building material supplier. My name is Joshua Payne. My staff and I are here daily for professional service from the guy next door.
A warning to moms of class of 27 senior boys. They aren't going to be thrilled when you ask about senior pictures. Common responses are, ugh, fine, whatever. I know, I'm one of those moms myself. I'm Michelle Gritters with Lux Photography, and my senior photo sessions are different. They're easy and relaxed, and I seem to have a knack for bringing out real smiles, even in the grumpiest of teens. And the best part is that it ends up being a really special day for you and your son. So if you've got a class of 27 senior boys, schedule a session at michellegritters.com. Most guys end up actually enjoying it.
All right, welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. And we are continuing to get ready for varsity boys basketball here on Eagle Lane. And as the two teams go to the locker room with just over 6 minutes before we get started, the Pella Christian girls are returning to the floor for the second half against Bondurant Farrar right now, trailing 16-8 going into the second half there. We're joined by Aaron Stoltz here on our pregame coverage of Pella Christian boys basketball on 92.1 KRLS and the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Aaron, I mentioned my McKay Group Radio keys to the game. I think the big key for the Eagles tonight is just getting some guys back to be able to help kind of spark the offense. Strong showing against Norwalk the other night here on Eagle Lane, but at the same time just couldn't get really anything going offensively. What felt like offense at times was just too difficult. You get some of those guys back with Griffin and Gilbert getting back in the lineup as well. Garrett, hopefully another day healthier with that ankle. Just some opportunities there to maybe get that offense reignited with some guys returning.
You bet. The one thing that's been consistent with this group throughout the year has been the defense. Doesn't matter who's really on the floor, it's been solid. But the offensive output has been a little bit up and down at times, right? So a lot of reliance on Gilbert because he's such a natural, gifted scorer. And so just getting back on track there and getting back into a groove is going to be big, And I think for me, anytime you go out at these non-conference games, there's always some level of unfamiliarity, right, with the opponents. You can watch tape and stuff like that, but till you see people up close and in person, it's a little bit of a learning curve. And traditionally, Van Meter through the years has just been a very physical team down low, and so I expect more of that from them tonight. I know they've got a couple guards that are pretty solid too. So, I think the key is which team can kind of feel the other team out maybe a little bit quicker and make some adjustments as needed, or execute the game plan as it's called for by the coaches. So just something to keep an eye on too for me is just how quickly they kind of get a feel for each other.
Absolutely, going to be very interesting to see how quick that comes about. Again, that's our McKay Group Radio Keys to the Game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. Quick look at our colors of the game presented by Michelle Gritter's Lux Photography for Van Meter. They're on the road blue uniforms tonight. We've got some black stripes down the side of the jerseys there, white numbers, white lettering, and then black outline on the numbers and the letters. And those are the Bulldogs colors of the game. And the colors for the Eagles is going to be the home white uniforms with the maroon stripes down the side, the maroon numbers with the gold lettering, and then gold outline on the lettering, and the gold outline on the numbers there. So that is the colors of the game presented by Michelle Gritter's Lux Photography, where your story becomes a masterpiece. We'll go ahead and take another short timeout. We'll be back to get to the starting lineups presented by Pella Real Estate Services when we return here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
Peaceful, accessible, convenient. That's the new Sunset Acres subdivision just west of Pella off of Highway 163. Hi, I'm Mike Bukite with Pella Real Estate Services. There are 36 lots between 3 and 7 acres, and custom-built spec homes are already in progress from great local builders like Davidson and Godike and Main Street Builders. Buy now and you could even choose your own finishes, or buy a lot and bring your own builder. Start planning your dream home in Sunset Acres by calling 628-1BUI for Pella Real Estate Services.
Stay cozy this winter with Central Iowa Roofing. When snow and ice hit hard, protect your home with the strength and beauty of Owens Corning shingles. The experts at Central Iowa Roofing deliver reliable, winter-ready roofing built to last through the toughest Iowa weather. Don't wait for leaks or damage. Upgrade your roof now with trusted materials and professional installation. Central Iowa Roofing, quality, confidence, and comfort all season long. Call today and stay covered this winter.
Hearthstone and Pella is looking for CNAs and nurses for first, second, and third shifts, and they're eager to invest in you. There's a healthy shift differential for evening and overnight CNAs and nurses, plus a sign-on bonus for both full-time and part-time. This could be a perfect opportunity for a student looking for evening or weekend work, as Hearthstone also offers tuition reimbursement for higher education. To learn more or to apply, visit wesleylife.org/Hearthstone and click Join Our Team.
There's a place in downtown Pella that takes you right into the heart of Amsterdam. A beautiful brick walk featuring a winding canal, a working drawbridge, and Dutch architecture providing a classic old-world atmosphere. Welcome to the Molengraat. The Molengraat is home to some of Pella's finest lodging at the Amsterdam Hotel, dining with Liberty Street Kitchen and Oriental Express, Beautiful You Salon, Pella Nail Salon, the Pella Window and Door Showroom, and many service businesses. You can even take in a movie at Pella Cinemas. Good luck to our local sports teams from the Molengraat in Pella.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. It's time for tonight's starting lineup presented by Pella Real Estate Services. We'll start with the Bulldogs of Van Meter, who will line up like this. 6-foot senior guard number 1, Andon Watson. It'll be a 6-foot senior number 5, Brody Knotts. A 6'4" sophomore number 11, Garrison Thummel. A 6'1" freshman number 12, Keenan Mundy. And a 6'4" senior, number 50, Keaton Menon. And those are the Bulldogs starting lineups tonight. The Eagles starting lineup tonight is back to normal. 6'3" sophomore, number 3, Trey Steinkamp. 6'7" senior, number 4, Gilbert Flagel. 6'1" senior, number 13, Garrett Wheeler. 6'3" senior, number 15, Ben Van Weingarten. And 6'7" senior, number 22, Devin Runner. Those are your starting lineups presented by Pella Real Estate Services, a full-service brokerage with a lineup that includes residential and commercial real estate, acreages, property management, storage facilities, and short and long-term rental options. Call 628-1BUY for Pella Real Estate Services. Say, it's been a minute since I've done that, so.
Figured it was coming at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't do it every single time, but we got to have fun with it every now and again. But we're almost set here for the opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply in Pella. As both teams line up for the national anthem and pregame prayer and all that stuff, we're going to step away real quick, and we'll be right back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
If you're hardworking, dependable, and have construction or electrical experience, DeYoung Door Service in Pella is looking for you. But they know that you're hard to find, and your skills are desirable and valuable. That's why for the right person with the right skills, they'll start you off at $25 an hour, plus a weekly stipend for health insurance. If we're talking to you, and you'd like to be trained by the best to become one of the gurus, call DeYoung Door Service at 628-8736.
Hi, this is Kurt DeYoung. We're the gurus of garage doors, DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
If you're looking for top-notch plumbing and HVAC services from a family-based business that treats you like one of their own, call me, Austin with Vanderlinden Services. With years of expertise and a commitment to customer satisfaction, our friendly experts are ready to serve you. Plus, we're proud to offer the top-of-the-line York residential and commercial HVAC systems. For all your home comfort needs, call me and experience why Vanderlinden Services is best for your job.
Win winter with the Toro Power Clear Single Stage Snowblower that is loaded with power in a compact size. They are easily maneuverable and clear snow down to the pavement. Get your power clear at DeRuyter Lawn Equipment in Pella. Toro, America's #1 snowblower brand.
Weather any storm with the Toro Flex Force electric snowblower that has the most powerful 60-volt battery in its class. Plus, you get the same rugged construction as Toro's gas-powered models. Get your Flex Force snowblower at DeRuyter Lawn Equipment. Toro, America's #1 snowblower brand.
Who's always open? Anytime Fitness. For the last 16 years, Anytime Fitness has been open 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Our award-winning gym allows you to work out on your schedule. With state-of-the-art equipment, expert trainers, a welcoming community, and the convenience of around-the-clock access, you're sure to find a fitness home with us. It's your fitness, done your way, at Anytime Fitness in Pella.
All right, welcome back here on Eagle Lane on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Here inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth, Aaron Stoltz and Tyler Crabb with you for all of tonight's action as the Eagles of Pella Christian get ready to take on the Bulldogs of Van Meter. And they are announcing the starting lineups presented by Pella Real Estate Services that we mentioned moments ago. And again, we are getting ready for tonight's action for a non-conference game. The Eagles with back-to-back non-conference games. And Aaron, you kind of alluded to it a little bit ago. I mean, it's very exciting to just get outside. I mean, you know, it's Little Hockey Conference games are fun the majority of the time because they are fairly competitive usually. But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, we got to see this team again. Kind of nice to be able to step outside of conference play, and Eagles get a couple of opportunities to do that before really wrapping up the season of Little Hawkeye Conference play. You know, if there are final 7 games after tonight, I think they have 7 remaining after this one, and you got 2 more non-conference games. If you include this one, 3 out of the final 8 non-conference play. Some good opportunity to see some fresh competition here and get ready for postseason play. Oh.
Yep, and that's exactly what you want. You know, you go through, whether it's high school, college, whatever, you go through the conference and you just get so familiar with teams and, you know, playing them 2 times a year, and you play once and then you make adjustments the second time around and you kind of know what's going on a little bit. So it's just that, you know, the newness that comes with stepping outside the conference is always a little bit exciting because you never know how different conferences match up and teams match up. You know, records can always be deceiving depending on conferences. So it's just you just enjoy it and embrace it, and good chance to see what else is out there, especially getting close to the postseason.
Yeah, and I think this is the only one that we've actually played in my time of being here. Burlington Notre Dame on Monday. I can't remember the boys ever played Burlington Notre Dame, and I can't remember them ever playing Hillcrest Academy either. So some really new, fresh faces to go along with that. But here we go. Our opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply in Pella, your only locally owned lumberyard and building material supplier, as it'll be Devin Runner and Garrett Thummel, or Keaton Mannon, excuse me. Keaton Menon. Menon will win the opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply and Pella, your only locally owned lumberyard and building material supplier. Van Meter starting out with the basketball. It'll be Menon up top, defended by Flegel. Ball will swing over to number 5, Knotts. Knotts pulls up from straight away for 3. It's off back iron, but rebound goes to Menon, and he'll knock it down. Not the start you wanted if you were the Eagles there.
No, you get the long 3 with a miss, and then didn't take care of the defensive glass there, and Van Meter able to make you pay with an offensive rebound. So again, the physicality is always going to be there from the Van Meter squad. So if you're Pella Christian, you really got to find bodies and check bodies out and limit those second chance opportunities, as we see a little miscommunication there, and ball sails wide to start. So
yeah, not the start you wanted if you're the Eagles here. Here inside the Element Siding Windows radio broadcast booth, Tyler Crabb and Aaron Stoltz as we get things rolling. Keaton Menon with it out top. He'll give it off to Keenan Lundy. Now back to Brody Knotts. He'll pull up from inside the free throw line, or just inside the three-point line for 2 more. And it's 4-0 Van Meter over Pella Christian to start off. 6:50 to go in the first quarter. Trey Steinkamp goes to Flegel in the post.
Yeah, triple teamed.
Yeah, Trey Steinkamp way downtown for 3, no good. Rebounded by number 1, Andon Watson.
Yeah, so if you're Van Meter, this is the opposite of that, right? This is about the ideal start for you. You get missed shot, offensive rebound, second chance point. You get a made jumper. You get a defensive stop, a turnover in there. So it really couldn't have started much better if you're Van Meter going on the road.
Yeah, Knotts with the basketball. He's looking inside for Thummel, working against Runner, and Thummel will power up and in through Runner, and it's 6-0 Van Meter over Pella Christian, rather. And Steinkamp attacking off the screen. He'll kick out to the corner. Devin Runner for 3, halfway down, and bounces out.
Got a good look there. So, if you're Pella Christian, you got to kind of weather this storm here. You got a couple good looks at 50-50 shots and halfway down and back out, and they didn't go in. So through the course of a game, sometimes those things average out. So you can't get discouraged. Got to stay the course here.
Yep, Thummel with the basketball. Give it to Brody Knotts. Knotts looking to drive on Steinkamp, and the Eagles will take it away for their first turnover forced. And Steinkamp from behind. And it will result in an Eagles turnover as Van Meter poked it away from behind to Steinkamp. After a scramble, the ball ended up in the hands of Van Meter. And Brody Knotts with it out on the Eagles logo. He'll give it up to Thummel on the left wing. Now up to Lundy. Lundy looking to drive on Flegel. He'll go right at him. And Lundy will lay it in and make it an 8-0 Van Meter start with 5:04 to go in the first quarter. Joe Steinkamp and Pella Christian, they're going to burn a 30-second Pella Motors timeout. At Pella Motors, you'll drive away happy. That's the Pella Motors guarantee. But in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic, a shaky start offensively here for the Eagles with 2 missed shots, 2 turnovers. And Van Meter going 4 of 5 from the field to start off with an offensive rebound. They've been able to mount an 8-0 lead here 3 minutes in. And that's in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarian.
Eagles got to find a way to turn it around.
Yep, and it's just such a contrast in terms of environment. Think of the last time we were in this gym for a game. It was, the homecoming game Thursday night, and the place was packed and the energy was high. And some nights you just have to figure out, as a team and as a player, like, how do you bring that energy? You can't always rely on a crowd to get you going. So that's what really I think Pella Christian needs to do here, is just figure out how do you build that energy from within and be able to rally back here.
Yeah, Pella Christian trying to get the ball into Flegel in the post. Nothing there. And now Garrett Wheeler, baseline drive. He'll get bumped and fouled, so he'll go to the line. Couple of substitutions here came into the game for Van Meter as well. Foul went on number 12, Keenan Lundy, his first. And Van Meter's first. Into the game is Luke Steinfeld. And let's see, who's the other?
I think
now he's coming in. There it is. Miles Buse. Wheeler 1 of 2 at the line, and Thummel with the rebound after the second one, no good. So ball in the hands of Brody Knotts. Buse gives it off to Thummel. Thummel kicking it backhand, and Watson from way downtown, way off the mark on the 3 ball there. Pingle's Home Store Instant Radio update. Start of the 4th quarter. Pella Christian girls basketball trailing Monterey Farrar 27-20. And Devin Runner going to try a right wing 3 for the Pella Christian boys here back on Eagle Lane. He is off the mark on that 3 from the right wing, and Van Meter with the board. And it'll be Thummel with the ball on the left wing for Van Meter. He'll kick it over, and a 3 from way downtown from number 15, Luke Steinfeld. And 2 Eagles collide and lose the ball out of bounds on the defensive rebound attempt. Yeah, I like the effort there from the Eagles, but just
got to clean it up. So,
yep.
Again, one of those things that, goes against you. So, how do you stay positive? How do you overcome it? Like I mentioned already, but you just can't get down on yourself. And I don't think this team will, but you just got to fight through and play with confidence.
Yeah, Griffin Stoltz into the game for Garrett Wheeler now. Ball in the hands of Buse. And he lost it, but he lost it right to Knotts. And his pass cross court is intercepted by Gilbert Flagel, excuse me.
Yeah, good length there by Gilbert. That's a tough pass to try to complete.
One of the G's, Trey Steinkamp, wide open look from the right wing. And there's a huge answer for the Eagles as they needed that one. 8-4, they cut the lead in half from Van Meter with 3:13 to go in the first quarter. Ball in the hands of Busey. Now it's Watson looking to drive. Now they're going inside for Thummel, working on Runner. Thummel able to get by Runner. First shot, no. Second shot, no for Thummel. And Pella Christian now looking to take advantage on their end of the floor. And Flagel, free throw area to the basket. Tough take. And Gilbert Flagel's on the board with his first shot attempt of the night, and Pella Christian back within 2, 8-6, 2.5 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, get him in the middle of the floor with some options. It's difficult. This should be a turnover. That should be a turnover.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, the official.
I think just had to check his eyes to make sure what he trust his eyes there, right? You saw it. It was just sometimes even as officials, you got to wait a minute, did I really just see that? So it's the right call, but whether.
Yeah, it was just kind of funky looking.
Yeah.
But
he had to confirm with himself quick. So.
Yeah, Garrett Wheeler is back into the game as Devin Runner gets a breather. Flagel inside on the feed from Stoltz. Yeah. And Flagel is 2 for 2 on the night, and Pella Christian has stormed back to knot things up. An 8-0 run for the Eagles following an 8-0 start to the game for Van Meter.
Yeah, so again, just a good steal there by Gil. Griffith, a nice pass into the post there to lead him just a touch.
And another mistake by Van Meter. The Eagles faithful are they disagree. It was number 12, Lundy dribbling, and the officials come together and do get that call correctly as Lundy kicked it off the bottom of his foot.
Yeah, and anytime it rockets that fast in that direction, and the defense is going the other way, it's usually a good indicator, but.
Yeah, so Trey Steinkamp looking to get the ball across half court, able to do so. Kicks to Garrett Wheeler. Wheeler drives, goes to the right corner for Steinkamp. Steinkamp is surveying, nothing there. Ball quickly swings, left wing 3 from Garrett Wheeler. It is just short, but rebounded by Flagel. And a tough finish for Flagel, and Pella Christian's on top.
Yeah, good.
10-8.
Just using his length there. Van Meter trying to box him out, but Gil just able to go up with those long arms and get that board and put it back in. So,
yep. So the Eagles on a 10-0 run here, and now driving to the basket. Nearly lost the ball was Brody Knotts, and Gilbert Flagel knocks the ball out of the hands of Keaton Menon, who's back in.
Yeah.
And Garrison Thummel is also going to check back in here for Miles Busey.
Yeah, and you've seen the last couple of minutes, just the defensive activity level from the Eagles has picked up quite a bit. So getting their hands on the basketball in the gaps and just getting more touches. We've led to a couple turnovers, so that's what's gotten them back in. Now can they keep it up and continue to maybe build on the lead?
Ben Van Weingarten forces the 5th Bulldogs turnover of the night. In transition, ball goes to Flagel on the right wing. And he'll go to the corner for Ben Van Weingarten. 3-pointer is too strong. So the Eagles with a 10-8 lead with 41 seconds to play in the first quarter. Game reset wired by Center Point Electric. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pella Christian with that 10-8 lead over the Bulldogs. As Lundy goes to the basket, and he'll get blocked by Flagel.
Yeah. Get the last shot here.
Yep, so the Eagles will pull it back down. That's going to be the 6th turnover from Van Meter, too. So Steinkamp out top. He'll give it to Flagel now with 10 on the clock. Flagel, he's going to pull up in the free throw area. He'll leave it short. Rebounded by Minnan. They're going to get it over to Knotts. Half-court shot by Knotts, in and out.
Oh, that was close.
Whew. Yeah, that's a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
But Pella Christian with a 10-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. We'll step away. We'll be right back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel inside the Element Siding Windows radio broadcast booth. After this on 92.1 KRLS.
At Lely, we continue to provide the latest innovations for the dairy industry. Our robotic milking systems put more milk in the tank with less effort. Our robotic feeding systems provide optimal feed efficiency for a healthy and productive herd. And we have a line of innovative barn products that create an animal-friendly environment focused on the cow's well-being and comfort. Lely, a worldwide pioneer in dairy farm automation, with our North American headquarters right here in Pella, is proud to be part of the community.
At Element Siding and Windows, we do it right the first time. Hi, I'm Andrew Thomason, owner of Element. We're locally owned and proud to have the same dedicated team on every project, the same faces you'll see from start to finish, no random subcontractors. We don't leave your project until it is complete and you are completely satisfied. Your details and your budget matter to us, and we'll work with you to bring your vision to life. You have a dream, we'll make it happen. Find us on Facebook at Element Siding and Windows.
Welcome back inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. We've got 10-8 Pella Christian boys basketball leading Van Meter after an opening quarter. Eagles closed the quarter on a 10-0 run after Van Meter started on an 8-0 run. Garrett Wheeler on the Eagles' opening possession of the second quarter goes to the basket and has his shot blocked by Minnan. Now it'll be Keaton Lundy given to Thummel. Thummel over to Knotts. They're going inside for Minnan, working against Flagel. The ball goes back out to Andon Watson. And they go back inside for Minnan. He'll go up and over the top of Flagel for his 4th points of the night, and he ends the 10-0 run for the Eagles. Makes it 10-10. And now Knotts is going to be called for a hand check. His first foul, Van Meter's first foul. And Devin Runner is back into the game, giving Ben Van Weingarten his first breather.
Nice job by Van Meter there. Menon just getting low post position and was able to back Flagel down underneath there and get that basket. And it appears that maybe his offensive game is limited to that, but if he can do that just enough for them, that's going to help them out tremendously.
Yeah, the Eagles will swing the ball around the wing as they're trying to work it inside to Flagel, but Runner gets lost in the shuffle, and he'll knock down the 3 from straight away. Good job by Devin Runner to find the opening on the outside, and Thummel just lost sight of his man there, and Runner makes him pay.
Yeah, again, so much attention given to Gilbert there that defensively, so you really got to make him pay when that happens. In that case there, Devin was able to do that.
Yeah, 13-10, the Eagles lead Van Meter with 6:35 to go in the second quarter. Thummel working against Runner. He'll get into the lane, and Runner blocks the shot. A lot of contact there, no calls. Thummel kept the possession alive for the Bulldogs.
Shot clock didn't reset, though.
Yeah, and then Watson lost the basketball, doesn't realize it, and Van Meter's going to turn it over on the shot clock violation. Their 7th turnover already on the game.
Yeah, sometimes you get those block shots, and you just psychologically you think, okay, it's a new possession, we just got it. But with the introduction of the shot clock last year before, it's something you just got to pay attention to.
Great transition offense there by the Eagles as Garrett Wheeler got an open look from 3, but couldn't knock it down. And so Pella Christian stays with a 13-10 lead. We're 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Van Meter with the basketball, and Brooke Knotts. He'll pull him up and knock down the mid-range jumper. And Trey Steinkamp will now look to bring the ball up here for the Eagles. He'll give it to Devin Runner now across the timeline. And Runner will give it back to Steinkamp. Steinkamp looking for some driving space. Now he'll give it to Wheeler. Wheeler drives in. Got a good look. Shot no good. But out of bounds on the Eagles. They're going to stop. Want to talk about something with Garrett. And
I think Garrett was just more frustrated with himself than anything there. So
yeah, well, and I mean he's hampered. I mean I know he's gotten through it and trying to give it his best shot with that ankle, but he's just not.
Maybe just a little bit of a force there.
Yeah,
as well,
and he's just not quite himself right now either. And Watson, he'll get his first shot up of the game, and he'll get it to go from about 10 feet out over the top of Stoltz, and Van Meter's back on top, 14-13 on top of Pella Christian. 5:05 to play in the second quarter as Wheeler goes to the post for Flegel. Flegel doubled, able to get it out to Runner. Runner's 3 is off the side of the rim. And a lot of contact, and Steinkamp will foul him. So first foul on Trey.
Somebody's got to come out.
First foul on the Eagles. Ben Van Weingarten coming in for Garrett Wheeler, and then number 15, Luke Steinfeld, into the game for Keaton Menon. And across the timeline, Van Meter with the basketball now. As Knott sets up the Van Meter offense from the left wing here. Nothing really going. They're trying to get it inside to Thummel. Instead, they're going to kick it out to Steinfeld for 3, and he'll knock that down. He's now 1 of 2 from three-point range, and Van Meter is on a 9-3 run as Keaton Lundy just picked up his second foul.
Yep, just a little aggressive there.
I wouldn't be shocked if there's a player at the scorer's table, so I would imagine that's where the substitution comes, is Miles Busey back in. Sorry, Buse. Miles Buse into the game. And Steinkamp looking to drive on him immediately. Got to the basket. Just a little too much salsa on that one.
Couldn't get it to go. Again, we've had a couple now that have been good looks, and halfway in just didn't fall, and
Yeah, but Andon
put
Watson
it up there by Devin.
Mid-range jumper is no good. Ben Van Weingarten thought about the 3 in transition, but instead gave it up to Flegel. Flegel to the basket, count it! And the foul, just so tough to defend him when he gets around the cup. As Andon Watson, Andon Watson picks up his first foul, team's 3rd. Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update while Flegel's at the line. Pella Christian girls basketball trailing Bondurant Farrar 32-26 with a minute to play in the fourth quarter. And an Eagles turnover gonna hurt in that one, but Flegel knocks down both free throws. Correct?
Just one.
Oh,
it was
sorry.
the end one, the old-fashioned.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ben Van Weingarten gets the rebound off the missed 3 by Luke Seinfeld. And then the Eagles turn it over. Getting all caught up here on everything. And Steinfeld going to try another three, this time from the right wing, no good. Thummel got the offensive board.
And Ben got the reach in there from the back, but.
Yep, so Ben Van Weingarten whistled for his first foul, second on the Eagles. Thummel with the board.
Yeah, and Thummel's a good size individual as well there, just to kind of out-muscled Devin a little bit. Devin just got to hold his ground and not get moved there, which led to him getting the ball and then the foul. So.
Yep, so Thummel made the first free throw to make it 18-16 Van Meter over Pella Christian. Thummel.
Oh, he traveled.
Yeah, he was way off the mark on the free throw. Van Meter ends up turning it over after getting the offensive rebound. It was kind of a funky rebound opportunity as Devin Runner on the other end will knock down the left wing three, and Pella Christian's back on top 19-18 with 2:40 to play in the second quarter.
Again, got a big stopper. You just get a score, you get a three, a little momentum.
Yeah, Thummel going to try from the right elbow for the mid-range jumper, and that one way too strong. And now Steinkamp will kick it over to Stoltz to the corner. Another three-pointer on the way from Devin Runner. This one's too strong.
Ben with a little push in the back. That'll be two on him.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, Ben just a little too aggressive going for that offensive board. It's going to be the third foul on the Eagles as a team, and that'll send Garrett Wheeler to the scorer's table to get Van Weingarten off the floor here.
Well, that hurts. I mean, we've talked about it a number of times, but Ben always draws the top defensive assignment in the backcourt, and he's done a nice job on Watson here this first half and getting the second foul there. So, it just hurts. But weather these next couple minutes and back in a good spot. First start of the second half, then.
Yeah, Van Meter called a Pella Motors timeout. Eagles fans were wanting a 5-second call out there on
That's close.
Lundy. I mean, it was close, and Van Meter gets the Pella Motors timeout there. You talk about the job he's done on Watson here. I mean, he's held him to just 3 shot attempts total in the first half here, and he's only made one of those for 2 points. You think back to Tuesday night here against Norwalk, too. I mean, he had limited Tillman Popson, one of the top guards in the Little Hawkeye Conference, to 13 points. Just a really, really solid defender has been Van Weingarten, and it's definitely going to hurt that he's on the bench here for the final couple minutes, but the Eagles will try to mitigate that as best as they can as Van Meter out of the Pella Motors timeout will get ready to return to action. And a final Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. Bondurant Farrar 34, Pella Christian 26 final in girls basketball. So that ends that contest up in Bondurant Farrar. And Van Meter's possession off the Pella Motors timeout. They're going inside for Menon. Double team comes, and Devin Runner will block that shot and turn it away. And Trey Steinkamp running in transition, has no numbers, but he'll step through, and he left the layup short.
Yeah, I like the effort there, just unable to get that up over the rim, maybe a little off balance, so.
Yeah, on the other end, it's gonna be Brody Knotts giving it up to Andon Watson. Watson working against Stoltz, a really tough mid-range jumper,
that was really
and
good.
He rises up and knocks it down.
That was really good defense. That's just a better shot.
Yeah, 20-19. Van Meter leads Pella Christian. 1:09 to play in the second quarter. And Flegel is fouled by number 10.
Buse.
Buse.
Got away with the first one, but not the second one.
Yeah, first foul on Buse. And Steinkamp gets the ball in the backcourt, and he'll call out the Eagles' offensive set. Ball in the hands of Wheeler. Now back to Steinkamp. Steinkamp getting into the lane. Tough fall away shot. It's off the side of the rim, but it goes right to Devin Runner, and he kicks it out to Griffin Stoltz, who has whistled for a travel.
Good job by Devin crashing the board there, and Official thought had a little bit of a foot drag there, I guess. So another turnover for the Eagles. So we got 43.5 seconds left here in the half. So yeah, good chance you're going to get the ball back if you can, clean up any lack of an offensive rebound here for Van Meter. So if you get a stop here and a score, possibly go into the half up ahead, that would be big.
Yeah, Brody Knotts is driving on Trey Steinkamp and gets a nice runner to go. Knotts is now 3 of 3 from 2-point range as he puts Van Meter up 22-19 with 20 seconds to play in the second quarter. Trey Steinkamp with the ball out near a half court on the left side as the Eagles set up for the final shot of the half. And the Eagles will set up their play and they'll give it to Flagel. Flagel fakes the handoff to Steinkamp. Stoltz tried to get the shot off at the buzzer. It went in and out. Runner came down with the board, but was unable to get it out before going out of bounds, and the clock expired as he did that. And so Pella Christian goes into the half trailing Van Meter 22-19. And we'll be back inside the Element Siding Windows radio broadcast booth after this with the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
Did you know that the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays can be a dangerous time of year for dogs?
This is Dr. Glenda Van Wyk at Van Wyk Veterinary Clinic. If your dog is vomiting, in pain, and or lethargic, these could be signs of pancreatitis. To avoid pancreatitis, always feed your dog a balanced diet and avoid high-fat foods like table scraps.
If your dog shows any of these signs, call Van Wyk Veterinary Clinic for treatment options right away.
Protect your pet's health at Van Wyk Veterinary Clinic.
Quality, compassion, family.
Local is our heartbeat. Since 1935, Marion County Bank has backed local businesses with real relationships and real solutions. We've helped our neighbors buy their first or forever homes and delivered practical banking options that fit your story every step of the way. We invite you to celebrate local and bank local. Come see us today. Marion County Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
At Pella Corporation, we're building brighter futures for our customers, team members, and communities. We foster an inclusive culture where unique perspectives are valued and contribute to our success. With opportunities for innovation, collaboration, and growth, Pella is more than a workplace. It's a place to belong and thrive. Join us and let's build brighter futures together, including your own. Because at Pella Corporation, we're building more than just windows and doors.
The wipers in the car go swish, 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 swish. The wipers in the car go swish, swish, swish at Central Tire and Auto.
Winter brings slushy, sleety, icy weather that's even more annoying if your wipers can't keep your windshield clean. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change, full mechanical work on your vehicle, and the important little things like new wipers, stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella.
At Central Tire and Auto.
Welcome back to the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show for tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change, and full mechanical work on your vehicle. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. Real quickly before we get into halftime, let's take a look at, again, a game reset wired by Centerpoint Electric. Pella Christian trailing Van Meter 22-19 at the break. And that's a game reset wired by Centerpoint Electric where they're wired for excellence. In case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella. Not a whole lot to talk about offensively in this one. Good defenses so far, and offenses have just kind of struggled to come along and get anything going in this game, as neither team has hit 25 points yet in this one. So we'll see which team can get the offense rolling more so here in the second half, see if either of them can get it really turn around in the right direction. Again, that's in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarians.
And then real quickly, our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. We do have a handful of results that are in. Again, Pella Christian girls basketball falls to Bondurant Farrar 34-26. Knoxville boys wrestling and a Pingles home story instant radio update fell to Carlisle 68-10. And then Pella, as we mentioned earlier, fell in boys wrestling to North Polk 45-36. That is the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Now we get into the halftime stuff, Aaron. I mean, overall, like I kind of said when we talked about in case you missed it, just offense really, really hard to come by in that first half. So these two teams who haven't seen each other, as we talked about it, you're still kind of feeling each other out early on. You know, second quarter, it kind of felt like they started to get into a little bit more of a groove there, but just need to get something going and get some easier looks, because a lot of shots have been very tough right now.
Yeah, you know, and I think if you're Pella Christian, it's, you know, the sky's not falling, okay? So you played arguably, you know, I don't want to say your worst half of the season, but one of them, you know, and you're down 3 points. And you look at number of baskets that half that halfway in and rimmed it back out. You know, Trey missed a couple there at the rim that he typically makes. You know, you go the other side, and Van Meters hit a couple just really tough contested jumpers. So, you know, the game ebbs and flows. So maybe this half, a couple of those ones that you normally make go in, and some of these contested jumpers don't go in, and turn things around. But I think you just got to string together some stops defensively, and again, use that energy to then create some offense and maybe get a little more movement going, and just kind of get guys moving a little bit quicker and in the half court if you can.
Absolutely. So it'll be very interested to see, you know, how things, what adjustments Coach Steinkamp has in the locker room. We'll talk about our adjustments here in a second, but we look at, first off, our inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber here at the break. Gilbert Flegel leads all scorers. He's got 9 points in this one, and Devin Runner has 6. Garrett Wheeler, Trey Steinkamp has 3. Garrett Wheeler with 1. And that's all the scoring for the Eagles. For Van Meter, you have 4 points for Andon Watson, 6 for Brody Knotts, 3 for Garrison Thummel, 2 for Keenan Lundy, 4 for Keaton Menon, and then 3 for Luke Steinfeld. And then Miles Buse not able to find the scoreboard there. That's inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber, where every home gets a gig. Join today at PellaFiber.com. Also worth noting, too, 5 Eagles turnovers to 9 for Van Meter. So the Eagles doing a better job taking care of the basketball here in this one. Now, Aaron, it's time to go into those second half adjustments we talked about in the locker room for Pella Christian. Obviously, it's been nice to have Gilbert back, and he's played a big part offensively here in this first half. But I think the adjustment I would make is you've now seen how they want to defend him, right? They're sending, they're kind of almost fronting him with somebody in behind, trying to look. So either you're going to have some quick snap passes over the top to get the defense moving out of rotation and, you know, try to get some easy looks that way, or you're going to have to find a way to force feed the ball inside to Gilbert and allow him to make some plays. Because right now I think that one thing that the Eagles are doing that I would try to make that adjustment is they're trying so hard to get it into Gilbert. You know, it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'll give it off to the next guy to see if he can get it in there. And you're kind of chewing up you're allowing the defense to set up and sit rather than keeping that defense forward. So I think, you know, if you want to make things easier, you got to get the defense moving and try to get them out of position and try to make them scramble almost.
Yeah, and it can be a fine line there, right? Because you don't want to give up on that option, but at the same time, maybe I felt there was a time or two the first half where we got maybe a touch with Gill and a kick out, and we ended up getting a 3, and it was maybe a little more contested than you would have gotten if you would have made 1 or 2 passes and swing the ball around a little bit, and you still get a 3 from the other side of the floor. So, I think just being patient with that, but if it's not there, don't force it. But, maybe even go into some type of, you might have to use Gill as a decoy a little bit, right? I mean, you don't want to take the ball out of his hands offensively, but if there's going to be that much attention put on him, then, how can you work him into the offensive flow as more of a decoy where guys are afraid to help, and then you can get some easy looks for other guys too.
Absolutely. Those are our second half adjustments presented by DeYoung Door Service. If it's time for a new garage door for your home or business, step and see the gurus of garage doors at their showroom just across the street over here at 908 Roosevelt Road. And that is, again, just west of here. Basically, if you're in the Pella Christian High School parking lot, go straight out to the west, and it's the first building on your right from the parking lot here at PC. If you're coming towards PC on Roosevelt Road, then it's going to be the last building on your left. But, that's an easy way to remember that. But again, that is the Gurus of Garage Doors at.
We're the Gurus of Garage Doors, DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
All right, that'll do it for the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. For tires, front end work, there are no appointment oil change and full mechanical work on your vehicle. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. When we return, we'll have the second half of action here inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth on 92.1 KRLS and the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
More than 3,000 homes in Pella are enjoying 1 gig of fast, reliable fiber internet from Pella Fiber. Why not you? It's only $75 a month with no contract, no installation fees, no data caps, and no throttling. And if there's ever an issue with your service, Pella Fiber is a local utility with local employees to get it fixed quickly. Make the switch today and join the more than 3,000 homes in Pella getting a gig for just $75 a month by going to PellaFiber.com.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS. Getting ready to start the second half inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth. Van Meter 22, Pella Christian 19 to start the second half. We do have a Pingles home store instant radio update to give, and that is Newton boys wrestling falling to North Mahaska 47-30. And that is the final score of that matchup, so we do have that in the books. You're listening to Pella Christian Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on 92.1 FM KRLS, Knoxville, Pella Newton, and KRLS HD1, Knoxville, Pella Newton. Everyone has a goal and inspiration for being whatever that is for you. Bank Iowa says,
let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. So, ball in the hands of Garrison Thummel out top for Van Meter here on their first possession. Is Knotts going in? He's looking inside for Menon. Now the ball will swing to the right wing for Thummel, and back out to Andon Watson. Cross court, he'll go to Lundy. Now Knott's going to pull up from the left wing for 3 for Van Meter. And, Notes is the one who knocks it down. Ball goes to Flagel inside, drawing some contact, no whistle, but Flagel finishes regardless.
Yeah.
Pulls Pella Christian back within 4, 25-21, 7:15 to go in the third quarter.
And again, if you're Pella Christian, this is the end of the floor that it starts on. You know, like I talked about pregame, they're night in and night out, just very solid defensively, and just haven't been able to string together consistent stops yet, largely in part due to the Van Meter guards.
Yeah, ball went inside for Menon, and Flagel going to get whistled for the hold before the bucket. So Flagel picking up his first foul of the Eagles in the quarter, and you'll take that rather than giving up the easy lay-in.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't love giving up a foul there, but at the same time.
Not with Gill, you don't. But.
Yeah. So that foul is a little easier to swallow than a free layup. Notes to the basket. His shot is off the mark, rebounded by Steinkamp. Flagel there defensively to kind of affect that shot. Ben Van Weingarten, left wing 3, was halfway down and out.
Yeah, it's good luck there. You feel like you just kind of, one of those nights where you just need one of those to go.
Yeah, Thummel went to the basket. Looked like he maybe got away with a little bit of a walk, but Devin Runner swatted the shot away anyways. And Van Weingarten from the corner on the other end, another one that goes in and out, and Trey Steinkamp pokes the ball out of bounds. Ben just can't outbuy one tonight.
Well, and I think that's about the 4th or 5th three-point attempt that we've had that have just done that exact same thing. So, you know, again, it's a make or miss game. So those go in. We're looking at a completely different game, but so far for the Eagles, they have not gone in, and that's why they're trailing right now.
Yep, Andon Watson out top, defended by Ben Van Weingarten. He'll drive the baseline and throw it right to Trey Steinkamp. 11th Van Meter turnover. Steinkamp with a nice pump fake, and we'll lay it in, and Pella Christian's back within 2, 25-23 with 5:45 to go in the third quarter.
Maybe got away with a little bit of a carry there in transition, but that might be the break you need. You never know.
Say you'll take it if you can get it.
Yeah, points have been hard to come by. So,
yeah, Thummel, he'll give it to Watson. Go off a couple screens. Van Weingarten does a nice job to get through the screens there, though, as Van Meter gets really congested offensively. Thummel missed the first shot, but got his own miss and powered it back up and in. 27-23 with 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Van Weingarten gets an open look from the right wing this time, and there's the three for Ben Van Weingarten.
Yeah.
He's had some great looks tonight. Finally gets one to go, and he makes it 27-26. Pella Christian trailing Van Meter with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
He says, I just won't hit the rim on this one. That'll help.
No doubt.
So.
Keaton Lundy looking to drive, and he'll give to Notes.
But again, you get a little bit of momentum there. Can you get the stop here on this end? Just
yep,
like
and Menon with an unforced error, throwing the ball away. It's the third turnover of the quarter already for Van Meter. 12 total as Menon and Lundy will come out of the game for Van Meter. Miles Buse and Luke Steinfeld into the game for Van Meter as they look for a different look. Flagel with the basketball on the left wing. Driving on Watson. They'll kick it to the right corner for Van Weingarten, who knocks down another three.
There we go.
Back-to-back threes for Ben Van Weingarten as the Eagles up 29-27. And how about tonight's Randall Roofing Raise the Roof moment of the game, presented by Randall Roofing. When the moment arises, it's time for a new roof. Think Randall Roofing. Miles Buse on the other end, unable to make his three. Rebounded by Thummel as the ball goes inside for Buse, and Flagel will block that one. So Buse off the mark on the three, then the two. And Steinkamp on the other end through the contact. No, Steinfeld down with the board. And
traveled.
Yeah, Buse got away with an extra step, and now Notes for three. No, rebounded by Wheeler. Penguins Homestar Instant Radio update. Seymour defeats Melcher Dallas in boys basketball 56-39 in the Bluegrass Conference consolation game. Trey Steinkamp gonna get an open three from the right wing, and he'll knock it down. 3 consecutive three-pointers for the Eagles. Have them up 32-27. It's a Pella Motors timeout taken by Van Meter. Who's always open, presented by Anytime Fitness. Well, the last 3 possessions, the three ball's been open because the Eagles have gone 3 for 3 on the last 3 possessions, or knocked down the tray, or their last 3 3-pointers, I should say. They're 3 for 3. 3 for 4 in their last 4 possessions in that stretch. And it's been a really, really solid start to this second half for the Eagles, who, as we mentioned, only scored 19 points in the first half, and they've already they're already approaching 19 here in just the third quarter at 13 points.
Well, like I said, it's a make and miss game, right? I mean, they've had some good looks to this point. You got a little iron unkind, as they would say, a time or two with the ball rattling around and popping out, and now it plays out, and you're able to hit a couple threes there with Ben with a couple and Trey with one. That I mean, those are shots that just weren't going in, earlier. So, if they can continue to do that, again, that's going to just open things up for Gilbert too. And then, like I said, just string together some defensive stops here. You got a little momentum, so coming out of the timeout, Van Meter trying to stem the tide a little bit. If you're Pella Christian, it's key to come out here and get a stop on this possession here.
Yeah, that's Who's Always Open, presented by Anytime Fitness, 24/7 gym that fits your lifestyle, your fitness, your way. Anytime Fitness. Game reset wired by Center Point Electric. 32-27, 3:19 to play in the third quarter. And they're having a conversation with the 2 coaches, Garrett Wheeler and Luke Steinfeld. Not exactly sure what that was about. They're kind of chuckling about it as they walk away.
If I had to guess, Wheeler and Steinfeld are probably about the same player, the same person. And, they just like to have a little fun out there, and everything seems good-natured here. But officials maybe thought that there was some talking or something. But
yeah, and Keaton Lundy tried to go to Andon Watson, and Ben Van Weingarten nearly poked it away.
Almost had it there.
Instead, Flagel got whistled for the push.
Yeah. So again, something to keep an eye on here. That's 2 on Gilbert. So if he would happen to pick up another cheap one or something and get his third, if you're Van Meter, it's one thing to want to go at somebody and try to get a third, but sometimes going at Gilbert's not always the best option if you don't have the length to do it. So.
Yep, Devin Runner getting a breather, by the way, as Griffin Stoltz comes back into the game. And a tough two for Brody Notes.
Yeah.
He's knocked down all 4 of his shots inside the perimeter tonight. And it makes it 32-29 with 2:53 to go in the third quarter.
And I don't know that any one of them's been easy.
No. Trey Steinkamp drives, kicks it out. Stoltz was looking for a driving lane. Nothing there. Now the ball will swing to Trey Steinkamp. Left wing three.
Wow.
Trey Steinkamp buries the 3, and in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. The Eagles have knocked down their last 4 3-pointers and have jumped out to a 35-29 lead on Van Meter with 2:27 to go in the third quarter.
Well, and I just love on that one that the ball went all the way across the floor, side to side, and if they finally passed up some good looks and got a great look.
Yeah, then again, that's in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
Brody Notes, looking for a driving lane. The Eagles were ready to help. As Steinfeld goes down low, got the ball to.
That's the third I was talking about.
Buse, and Flagel looked like got that ball cleanly.
Certainly did, but
the official said it was on the arm.
So again, that just comes from just a little bit of defensive breakdown by the Pella Christian, though. I think.
Lost track of the man on the backside.
Yeah, and they
knocks down the first free throw.
A little scramble situation there. You had Van Meter up against the shot clock, was running out, and you're putting a little extra pressure to try to run those last couple of seconds out. And credit the Van Meter player for making the find underneath there. And 50-50 call goes against you. So.
Yeah, Buse goes 1 of 2 at the line. So Pella Christian still leads by 5, 35-30 with 1:55 to go in the third quarter. Steinkamp will give it to Wheeler off of a couple screens. Steinkamp gets the defense switched. Now Stoltz, he's going to give it up to Steinkamp. Steinkamp looking to drive on Steinfeld. Wheeler 3, no. And Van Weingarten is down with the board and getting just, he got whacked like 3 times, and instead of 30-second Pella Motors timeout, is going to have to be called by Joe Steinkamp.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose the possession there, but if Gilbert's was a foul on the other end, then.
Yeah, I was like, I know saw him get hit in the face at least once, but that's beside the point. But a Pella Motors timeout called. It's an urgent situation presented by Pella Regional Health Center for the Eagles. Gilbert Flagel picking up his 3rd foul. He's been key in making the defense move. So with him off the floor, Eagles going to have to find a way to still manage to drum up that offense.
Yeah.
And that's our urgent situation presented by Pella Regional Health Center. If you need urgent health care today, be seen today at Pella Regional's walk-in clinics in Pella, Knoxville, or Ottumwa. Visit PellaHealth.org for hours and wait times. And let's take a look at the Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. So the scores we've got so far: Pella Christian leading Van Meter 35-30, 1:33 to go in the third quarter. Pella Christian girls fall to Bondurant Farrar tonight 34-26. And then boys wrestling action, Pella falls to North Polk 45-36. Knoxville falls to Carlisle 68-10. Newton falls to North Mahaska 47-30. And then in boys basketball, Seymour defeats Melcher Dallas 56-39 in the Bluegrass Conference tournament.
So for some, we did not get a
reset
on the shot clock.
Yeah, they didn't reset the shot clock. And
that's an error.
Yeah,
absolutely an error.
Coach Steinkamp does not understand how there's no reset. Before on the shot clock, and Trey Steinkamp, step back 3-pointer. It's off the side of the rim, no good, as the Eagles had to force it up off of the shot clock error.
I don't understand that one at all. I mean, Ben got the offensive rebound clearly
off the rim, and then Van Meter does it. They allow for it to not really matter because they turn it over.
As the kids say, ball don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a timing error there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously sometimes that happens. And with the offensive board and the timeout, obviously it was hard to just truly go back and know. As Garrett Wheeler drives to the basket.
That's a goaltend.
Yeah, and they had a really good look at the shot. It took a second for everyone to kind of catch up there, but Menon whistled for the goaltend. So Garrett Wheeler with the 2 points, and Pella Christian's up by 7, 37-30 with 1:05 to play in the third quarter here.
The physical force in there. He got up and got that one, but fortunately for the Eagles, he got up there to get it just a little too late. So
yeah, Garrison Thummel had it on the left wing. Now to Menon up top. Now Lundy's looking to drive. pass to Watson, got tipped, and then Notes jumper inside the free throw line is no good. That's his first miss from inside the arc tonight. Eagles pushing in transition, and now we'll have to slow it down.
An 8-second differential, so if you can be patient here and get through this quarter with Gilbert sitting the last 2 minutes and come away with the lead, that would be big.
Garrett Wheeler driving to the basket, got his man in the air twice, unable to finish the layup. Eagles lead at 39-30, largest lead.
Gotta get a stop.
Since the first quarter, either way, as it's 39-30. They go inside to Andon Watson, does Van Meter. His shot no good. Garrison Thummel is able to follow it up with the made shot. And then the Eagles turned it over on the inbound, and Thummel able to knock down the mid-range jumper there from about 8 feet. And what looked like it was going to be a 39-32 lead at the end of the third quarter quickly becomes a 39-34 lead as Garrison Thummel with a nice closing mark there at the end of the third quarter. But we're going to go ahead and step away. We'll be back inside the Element Siding Windows radio broadcast booth. Pella Christian 39, Van Meter 34 at the end of the third quarter.
Van Haften.
Hi, I think our furnace went out. It's freezing in our house. I'm not even sure what kind of furnace we have, but I really need you to come fix it.
Okay, don't worry, ma'am. We'll send one of the big trucks.
Van Haften Plumbing and Heating's fleet of big trucks rolling around the Marion County area don't just look cool. These big trucks are well stocked with extra parts and supplies to get the job done quicker so that your house can warm up quicker. It's another reason you'll rest easy when you pick up the phone and hear
Van Haften.
The winter seems really cold right now and a far way from the Knoxville Raceway season. But don't worry, race fans. Thinking about tickets to the Knoxville Raceway will warm you up. Tickets go on sale for season tickets and 2, 3, and 4-day Knoxville Nationals and 360 Nationals on February 1st. And World of Outlaw tickets go on sale January 12th. Go to KnoxvilleRaceway.com for more information. Knoxville Raceway, sprint car capital of the world.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Pella Christian leads 39-34 after a hectic end of the third quarter there. In case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Van Meter got a bucket from Garrison Thummel, who then stole the inbounds pass from the Eagles, and it put it back in. And a 4-0 burst in the final 5 seconds for Van Meter, pulled them back within 5. And then starting off the fourth quarter, Gilbert Flagel got the ball, went right to the basket, and got fouled by number 12, Keenan Lundy. His third foul, first on Van Meter. And that's, again, in case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
Someone's
got
bleeding.
a little blood on the jersey here on Ben, so.
Yeah, he's looking around. He doesn't know where it's coming from.
Came from, but I'm going to guess if they can't get that, he's going to just go find a different jersey, because.
Yeah, they're checking to see where he could be bleeding from. I don't know that it's his, though.
I'm not sure it is. It has to be on the inside of his arm, just given the location of it if it was, so.
Yeah, Flagel's good on the first free throw here. Make it 40-34. $7:51 to go here in the ball game. And Flagel makes both.
Those are big, especially after that little flurry there at the end of the third quarter from Van Meter, and you had momentum kind of maybe starting to shift back. So it's not a basket, but it's 2 free throws, which is just as good. So it's good to get that here to kind of cut that momentum off just a little bit.
Yeah, Garrison Thummel got it to Brody Notes. Now Keenan Lundy with it. Lundy's trying to get it over to Watson, who's just been held relatively in check here by this Eagles squad. Watson tried the step back three, goes inside to Minnan. His first shot, no. Second shot, no. And then Trey Steinkamp rips the rebound away from Thummel. Great job there by Steinkamp on the backside to grab the defensive board.
Yeah, big stop there because Van Meter got a good look at it at the rim there. Not once, but twice, so.
Yep, Garrett Wheeler on the right wing, defended by Notes. We'll give it to Flagel, defended by Watson. Flagel, mid-range jumper from the free throw line, no good. And Van Meter will set up on the offensive end. This ball finds its way over to Watson. He's going to rise up from the free throw line, and that one rims in. Great defense by the Eagles there by Stoltz, and just better shot by Watson yet again.
You go back and watch all 3 of Watson's baskets tonight so far, you're going to see a common theme, and every one of them was hardly contested, and he was able to just make some tough shots there. So nice steal there by Gill, and the over the top lob for the easy lay-in.
Absolutely, but Flagel getting the Eagles back on top by 7, 43-36. 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Watson, they'll kick it over to Thummel. They're trying to go inside for Minnan again. Thummel kicks it out. Lundy going to try a right wing 3. That one's off the side of the rim, no good. And Wheeler has the rebound. First 3 attempted by Lundy tonight. Steinkamp left alone, top of the key for 3. Trey Steinkamp drills the three-pointer, his 4th of the night. Timeout, full Pella Motors timeout taken by Van Meter. And in a game reset wired by Center Point Electric, 5:52 to go in the fourth quarter. The Eagles' lead has now grown to 46-36 late in this ball game. And man, it's just been, the difference has been the 3-ball for the Eagles. They've gotten some switches. They've just gotten Van Meter, as we talked about there at the end of the first half. They've started to get the defense moving, getting them out of position, and it's opened up that 3-ball, and they've been able to knock it down fairly consistently once they saw that first one from Ben Van Weingarten go in there in the third quarter.
Yeah, and right there, that last possession, that was just a classic case of just a beautifully executed secondary break. You know, Trey kicks it ahead to Griffin, which then draws the defense's attention to the corner a little bit, and then Trey's just able to trail that play in stride, and Griff with the nice pass back, hits him in the shooting pocket, and Trey, no hesitation, wide open 3, able to knock it down. So, yeah, again, we talked about that. It's, you know, first half, some of those weren't going, and this half we've been able to heat that up. And that's big for Pella Christian moving forward. Like I said, if, you know, some consistent outside shooting is really going to limit what teams are going to be able to do to Flagel defensively inside. So it's just going to keep opening things up. So I'm sure Coach Steinkamp is happy to see some of these shots going in from different players, and you know. But again, this one's not over. Van Meter's going to make a run.
Yep.
They're
a good team.
Yep, they're, you know, a lot of winning programs over there. So kids that know how to compete, and they aren't going to give up. So if you're Pella Christian, you can't lax up here. You got to push through and keep this at 10, if not push it out to a little bit more.
Yeah, out of the Pella Motors timeout, Pella Christian with that 46-36 lead. And inside, Thummel has the ball tied up, and it'll stay with Van Meter there on the jump ball. Thummel thought he got fouled.
No.
Official disagreed on the baseline there. And substitution is Ben Van Weingarten will come back into the game. And Stoltz comes off after a couple of good minutes defending Watson there. Another look at the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Again, our scores that we've got tonight. As Van Meter nearly turned it over there. Lundy throws it right to Garrett Wheeler, who knocks it out of bounds. But Pella Christian girls basketball falls to Bondurant Farrar 34-26. And boys wrestling, Pella falls to North Polk 45-36. Carlisle defeats Knoxville 68-10. Newton falls to North Mahaska 47-30. And then Melcher Dallas boys basketball lost Seymour in the Bluegrass Conference Tournament. 3-pointer no good by Andon Watson there. Rebounded by Brody Notes, and Pella Christian leads Van Meter 46-36 with 5:20 to play in the fourth quarter. And that's the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard as Garrison Thummel goes through runner to get another offensive board, and Steinfeld pays it off with the 3 there after the misses.
Yeah, and Thummel's just been a menace on the old boards. I've got him for 6 offensive rebounds tonight, which just kept possessions alive and led to second chance points for Van Meter there as Trey turns it over.
Yeah, it's a rare turnover for the Eagles tonight. And on the other end, Brody Notes begins the start of the official run here for Van Meter that we talked about as they cut it back down to 46-41 with 4:35 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what we said. You can't. They're going to keep coming at you. You can't get complacent and think because you're up 10 it's over. So, and we've seen just that in the last minute and a half coming out of the timeout there.
Yep, and the Eagles get another decent look from 3. This one by Runner, but that one off the mark from the left wing. And now Van Meter will try to answer. And then Watson to the basket. His shot no good. And Devin Runner is going to be called for his first foul of the game. First on the Eagles in the quarter. Okay. So Watson will make the first free throw, his first free throw attempted tonight, as Griffin Stoltz will come into the game for Devin Runner. And second free throw is also good for Andon Watson.
That's a little 7-0 run there for Van Meter, and we've got a ball game again with 4 minutes left here.
46-43, Pella Christian leads Van Meter with 4:03 to play in the fourth quarter. And it's Griffin Stoltz with the ball on the left wing. He'll get it up top to Flegel at the top of the key. Flegel.
Give him room.
Yep, he's sizing up Watson, and Watson pokes it away. Just the third turnover of the half for the Eagles as Thummel goes to the basket, and he'll lay it in on the right side. And the Eagles' lead is down to 1, 46-45 with 3:35 to play in the ball game.
Get a timeout here.
Yeah, inside the Element Sighting and Windows radio broadcast booth. And Pella Motors timeout taken by Pella Christian here. Joe Steinkamp wants to take a full timeout to talk things over. Following a 9-0 run here for Van Meter, but the Eagles still lead it with 3.5 to play. We'll go ahead and take the timeout with them. We'll be back inside the Element Sighting and Windows radio broadcast booth after this on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
Winter is coming, and with it comes heavy snow and ice and bad roads. Upgrade your winter driving experience with a new set of Firestone Weather Grip tires and step up your savings before winter hits with a trip to Raceway Tire and Exhaust. Raceway Tire and Exhaust has everything you need to keep your car in top driving shape for the weather to come. From Firestone Weather Grip tires to brakes, AC, wiper blades, and more, stop into Raceway Tire and Exhaust today.
Raceway Tire and Exhaust. We got what you need to get you on the go.
Randall Roofing is proud to sponsor the Raise the Roof moment of the game.
Stoltz gives it to Flegel. Flegel drives. What a move by Gilbert Flegel to get to the basket. Give it our Randall Roofing Raise the Roof moment of the game as Flegel with the step.
Randy Jarzonvik here, owner of Randall Roofing. Randall Roofing is your full-service roofing and gutter contractor specializing in replacements, new construction, and repairs in South Central Iowa. We partner with CertainTeed to elevate your home's protection using industry-leading technologies.
Welcome back inside the Element Sighting and Windows radio broadcast booth on 92.1 KRLS and the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Pella Christian leads Van Meter 46-45, 3:20 to play in the fourth quarter. The Eagles trying to put an end to a 9-0 Van Meter run. Garrett Wheeler to Griffin Stoltz. Wheeler driving, kicking. Trey Steinkamp to the corner. 3 for Ben Van Weingarten. Ben Van Weingarten's now knocked down his last 3 3-pointers. The Eagles go back up by 4, 49-45. Just under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was a huge possession there by Pella Christian coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, ball goes to Garrison Thummel. He goes inside. His first look no good. Got his own miss. Shot no good.
Should be on Trey.
Yep, and they will call that on Trey. It's the second on Trey and the second on the Eagles in the quarter. So Thummel at the free throw line. And he's off the mark on the first free throw, so he's now 1 of 3 at the free throw line as Devin Runner is back into the game for Griffin Stoltz. And Thummel is off the mark on the second free throw. Menon.
He was out of bounds.
Yeah, Menon he tipped it up. But Thummel was out of bounds. So it'll be a Van Meter turnover there off of the offensive rebound. And Flegel able to get it into Steinkamp, who's defended by Keenan Lundy. Ball goes to Devin Runner. Just to the left, top of the key, now to the right wing for Wheeler. Inside for Runner. Runner, tough finish and he gets that to go. Good to see that go for Runner. He makes it 51-45, 2:20 to go in the fourth quarter. He had several looks like that the other night that just wouldn't fall for him against Norwalk.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough angle there, but good job by him. Just good patience on that.
And then Watson throwing it inside for Thummel. Garrett Wheeler did a nice job to be there. Couldn't get two hands on the basketball.
Trey.
And three-pointer was off the mark by Keenan Lundy. Trey Steinkamp poked the ball out of the hands of Menon. To the rebound, sailed over the top of Flagel out of bounds. Luke Steinfeld back into the game for Menon. Which I think almost helps the Eagles a little bit because Menon's...
He's been a menace on the offensive boards, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that size. The Eagles have a little bit of height, but he just has the ability to move people.
He's got the physical advantage more times than not. Yep,
yeah.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, Keenan Lundy drives, kicks. Steinfeld, three from the wing, no good. Lundy with the offensive rebound, though, and he'll get that one to go, finally, for the Eagles. 51-47 with 1:35 to go in the fourth quarter. I think that was just kind of an unfortunate deal where ball went in the direction of Wheeler, and Wheeler just really doesn't have that ability to, go from a quick stop to jumping motion with that ankle injury he's dealing with. Van Meter lost. Flagel inside, who goes to the basket, able to finish through the quadruple team that got sent at him and made it 53-47 with 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter. As the Eagles faithful rise into their feet here. Pella Christian trying to hang on. Steinfeld, three-pointer. This one's too strong, and Ben Van Weingarten's down with the board. And Trey Steinkamp, under 1 minute to go, able to get it to Garrett Wheeler in the front court. Wheeler's gonna slow it down and able to get it to Steinkamp.
You gotta just hold it. They've got to make them foul you.
Yeah, Van Meter, I don't think realizes they need the foul at this moment.
Yep.
As now Devin Runner will be the one that gets fouled over on the left wing, finally. And Van Meter, the hard part about, the bad part about that is they only have two fouls now.
Team fouls. They've got 3 to give. I know their coaches were trying to get them to foul a little bit earlier in the possession there, but unable to just communicate that on the floor. And I think, probably let 10 seconds tick off there.
Yeah, the foul went on Brody Notes.
Now you're going to get more
and
time
the ball
here.
into the backcourt. Trey Steinkamp will be fouled by Lundy. And that'll be the 4th on Lundy. 3rd on Van Meter as a team. I kind of thought that's who they were going to replace with Buse coming in, but instead they went to they got Steinfeld out. But Lundy, who's been the primary defender of Steinkamp tonight, he picks up foul number 4, and Buse this time guarding Steinkamp will pick up his 2nd foul. 4th on Van Meter. So the Eagles will inbound the ball full court.
Time, yeah. So.
And the shot clock is off, so the Eagles, have that advantage working for them as Garrett Wheeler gets the inbound. And Wheeler gets fouled.
Wasn't sure they were going to call anything there. But, yeah. So Garrett, step up here, knock these down. Even if you can get one of 2, it puts it to a 3-possession game. Ideally, you like to get both of them, but.
Yep, and Watson picks up his 2nd foul. So Garrett Wheeler to the line with 31.4 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. It's 53-47, Eagles leading. And Wheeler too strong on that one.
Second one's important here. Like I said, it's a 6-point game. If you could get this one, push it out to a 3-possession game, that's going to be big. But if you do get the miss, then obviously Van Meter's going to look to score pretty quickly, whether that's a quick 2 or if they can get a good look at a 3. You just got to be ready to go if you're Pella Christian.
Yeah, Steinfeld back into the game for Buse. And Wheeler off the back iron on that one, too. Steinfeld got the rebound, but he was falling out of bounds. And Wheeler ended up with the basketball. And then he got fouled again, so he's going to go back to the line here with 26.6 seconds to go. And another opportunity added as the loose ball there. Steinfeld just, unfortunately, just got caught on the baseline there and was off balance. And
tried to save it, and then.
And Wheeler pays off this free throw attempt, make it the first one as Garrison Thummel comes off the floor and kind of favoring that right leg where he's got a brace already.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly if it's just a little minor tweak or what exactly happened, but Menon back into the game. Wheelered off back iron on this free throw, no good, and Flegel grabs that offensive board. Now he'll go to the line to look to add on to this lead as Eagles lead 54-47 with 25.2 seconds to go. And Van Meter, who felt like has been really good on the boards all night, picks their worst time to be at their worst on the boards.
Yeah, they've dominated the offensive glass tonight, and Pella Christian's leaving the door open here, not converting some free throws, but two big offensive rebound there, and then the possession before that, on the throw-in save, able to get it back.
Yeah, Flegel goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line to make it 55-47. And the Eagles will call a Pella Motors timeout and get Griffin Stoltz back into the game for the defensive purposes here, knowing that Van Meter is going to be playing for, threes, I think, at this point with an 8-point deficit. I mean, they could, I guess, try quick twos, but I don't think that that's going to help them too much with the time. And so they're probably looking at it from that standpoint if they're the Eagles. But, again, it's 55-47 with 25.2 seconds to go. And I think the only thing that you're looking at right now from the Eagles' perspective outside of the final 25.2 seconds, so you're walking away and it's like, oh boy, you had 6 free throws attempted in the last 10 seconds and you went 2 of 6 on those free throws. It's not ideal when you're trying to close out a game. So late game free throws, I think, going to be a big talking point for the Eagles, especially knowing what's coming on Monday with a trip to currently 18-0 Burlington Notre Dame. The belief is that they'll be 19-0 when the Eagles go there on Monday. Got a long road trip. It's probably not going to be a blowout one way or the other because the Eagles, it's rare that they get blown out or do the blowing out. It's usually within 10 points. So free throws down a stretch, very key. Yep. So Eagles will probably work on that the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's just a confidence thing. You see one of them go through and you feel good and things get a little more comfortable there. So, Coach Steinkamp taking the time out there, going to set his defensive possession here, talking through, do we want to switch everything? How do we want to handle this? Talking through what they might do. So.
Yeah, Brody Notes got some space there.
Yeah.
Was able to get just enough space between him and Ben Van Weingarten to knock down the 3. So 55-47. Van Meter trails now after knocking down that triple and made it with 17.9 seconds to go. Sorry, 55-50, the 3. Got my numbers mixed up there. I thought that they were already ahead of me, but makes it a 5-point game here inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth. 17.9 seconds to go. And if you're the Eagles, this ball, you're looking, I would imagine, for Flegel, or you're looking for Steinkamp at this point.
Yeah, I think,
maybe Trey, runner as well.
Yeah, Trey would be my first option if you can get it to him. But, Gilbert was just there and knocked it down, so I would be confident if he got there as well. So, but also if you're Van Meter, you're taking, that's coming, so you're looking to take that away as well. So just got to see what happens here. They're not guarding the inbounder, so that's going to give an extra defender in there, and somebody's going to break out, and there you go.
Stoltz stayed in the game, and Van Weingarten is grabbed by Buse for his third foul. So Ben Van Weingarten going to go to the line, a name that we didn't mention. And would you believe me, Aaron, if I told you this is his first shot inside the three-point line tonight?
I would believe it, yeah. So he's hit a couple huge threes, just more so in terms of the timeliness in which he made them was huge and critical for Pella Christian. So,
and he'll make the first one. So this is the breakdown for Ben. He's taken 6 shots tonight home from behind the arc. He missed his first 3 threes, made his last 3. So he's 3 of 6 from the field, all from behind the line, and now knocks down his first free throw to make it 56-50 with 16.2 to play. And second one he'll make as well. Yeah, so Ben Van Weingarten has knocked down his last 4 attempts at scoring. On the other end, Andon Watson knocks down a really tough 3 with Garrett Wheeler right there in defense. And Andon Watson has made this a 4-point game, 57-53. And the hard part for the Eagles right now with the Pella Motors timeout is you're right there in the game. The hard part is you're trading 2s for 3s right now. So it's inevitably it's working against you. But you gotta find a way here to, I think, burn just a little bit more time off and see if you can't run around a little bit more rather than, allowing them to foul you right away. I don't know how you do it, but you got to find a way.
Well, but I think this is the difference between the high school and the college game, right? So made basket, the clock's not stopping. Van Meter just used their last timeout. We're at 10 seconds. So if you can get the ball in any capacity.
I forgot about that rule.
Yeah, if you get the ball in any capacity, even if they would get a quick score, by the time the ball, if you're Pella Christian, the ball bounces a couple times. If you're smart, you pick it up, you toss it to the official. By the time he tosses it back, you start the 5-second call. It gets close, you just chuck it down to the other end, because even if somebody runs it down and catches it, so in theory, 10.9 seconds, 4-point game, I understand what you're saying, but without a timeout left, if the scoreboard is right, there's lots of things you can do to Pella Christian to work this year advantage.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot about that rule.
Yeah, so
inbound goes to Gilbert Flagel and
9.8. So even if you miss both of these, you can eat up a couple seconds just picking the ball up in the backcourt, and even if they would make it, you'd be okay. So, but yes, I would still echo your sentiment of you got to figure out how to just take care of the ball, still make your free throws, and close games out rather than relying on stuff like that to close it out.
Oh, yeah. Which, it comes in handy when you have that.
Absolutely.
We saw that a couple years ago play out at Oskaloosa.
So,
Pingle's Home Story Instant Radio update. Pleasantville Boys Wrestling goes 2-1 at Linville-Sully. And then Pleasantville Girls Basketball fell to Linville-Sully 56-45. Flagel made the first free throw. And made it a 58-53 game. Flagel makes both free throws to make it 59-53. Eagles lead it with 8/10 of a second to go. And then Watson three-pointer is off, back iron. Flagel is down with the board, and that will do it. Pella Christian 59, Van Meter 53. Your final score here on Eagle Lane, Pella Christian able to come away with the victory here at home against a really solid Van Meter squad. We'll be back with the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show after this on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel.
The perfect way to start your morning is to head to Scooters Coffee in Pella. Treat yourself to a rich salted caramel latte, a smooth iced cold brew, or the craveable sea salt caramel blender iced latte. Pair it with a French toasty breakfast sandwich for the perfect start. So swing through Scooters Coffee in Pella and sip happy all day. Your drive-through stop for flavor, energy, and smiles is Scooters Coffee in Pella. Amazing drinks, amazing people, amazingly fast.
This is Dr. Tim Yoder with Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. February is National Pet Dental Month, and I'd like to encourage you to schedule an oral exam for your pet. All of our dental services are discounted during the month of February, including cleaning of the teeth, polishing of the teeth, and dental surgery where needed. Call today to schedule your pet's oral checkup at 628-4040 for Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella, where your pet's good health is our #1 concern.
No, the veterinarians.
Yes, we are. We're the veterinarians.
They take care of pets because they love them.
Looking for a bank account that works as hard as you do? With Sensible Checking from Bank Iowa, whatever you are spending your money on, we'll pay you for. At 10 cents cash back for each qualifying debit card purchase, you will earn cash back of $1 for every 10 qualifying debit card transactions. You'll also enjoy free online banking, bill pay, and a free debit card. And with no monthly service charge, you can swipe your heart out. Spend money, make money. Learn more at bankiowa.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Configuring the Bluetooth, deciding who controls the music, remembering where you parked. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Ask me, Lance Klein, at the Verduff Agency in Pella, if auto owners make sense for you.
Hey, night owls, no need to burn the weld wire at both ends, so to speak. Vermeer has 2nd and 3rd shift welding positions open now. Pick the shift that fits your life and bring your best work. We're talking great pay, solid benefits, and a team that's got your back. At Vermeer, your impact matters. You're valued from day one. Ready to spark something new? Visit VermeerJobs.com or text 641-900-6178.
If it's time to refresh your home, there's no need to travel out of town. We have a 25,000 square foot showroom at Bruxford's Home Center with everything you need. We have furniture for every room in your home, flooring in every texture, color, and style imaginable, kitchen appliances and laundry sets, bedding, window treatments, and home decor. And it's all backed by our legendary customer service. Let us help you refresh your home at Bruxford's Home Center, 405 Truman Road in Pella.
Run Bobby to basketball, pick up Susie from dance. If your calendar sounds like this, you need to let the professionals at Van Manen, Seatstra, Meyer, and Nickel help you with your income taxes. And erase one thing from your schedule this year. They offer a convenient drop-off service, so you won't have to sit through an appointment. Just drop off your tax information between 8 and 6, Monday through Friday, or 8 to noon on Saturdays, and they'll prepare your tax returns in about a week. Then come back at your convenience to sign and file the returns.
Save time and gain peace of mind with Van Manen, Seatstra, Meyer, and Nickel.
The new year often brings colder temperatures to Iowa, which means snow and ice. Even though we work hard to keep the lights on, sometimes Mother Nature has a plan in store. If your power goes out, please give us a call to let us know and then hang tight while we fix power lines. If there is a large storm, follow us on Facebook for power restoration updates. And remember to stay away from any down lines outside. Assume it's live and not safe. Looking out for you, we're Pella Cooperative Electric.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. It's the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show. Scooters Coffee and Pella, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. And we look at tonight's game. Aaron, just overall your initial thoughts on a gritty win here for the Eagles in their final game against a 2A opponent this season, which will be huge for seeding here coming up once that is announced for postseason play.
Well, my initial thought is an ugly win's better than an ugly loss. So
yes.
Definitely not the cleanest game that PC has played this year. Credit some of that to Van Meter. They were troublesome on the offensive glass with their size and not so much length, but just the brute strength and physicality of a couple of those guys down there. So we've been the team a lot of times this year that's really thrived on the offensive boards. And have won that advantage, but I had Van Meter for about 12-0 boards tonight, which led to a lot of second chance points and changed some things in this game. So, but with that, we talked about just making shots versus missing shots, and you go back to that first half, and we're sitting at 19 points at halftime, and then you finish the game with 59 points, so a 40-point second half, and really the difference was you got a lot of the same looks from three. It's just these ones went in, and so first half they were bouncing around the rim and going out. Second half they were able to get those to go in. So credit to Van Meter. It was a hard-fought game. This is one that they look forward to. Just I would say just with the makeup of their conference. There's only so many nights where you get some of those types of games and that are, you feel are going to be good competitive ones. And they're looking at it, too, thinking this is a game that's going to help prepare us for the postseason as well. So it definitely played out that way. But, as we talked about off the air, with this being the last 2A opponent on the schedule for the Eagles, postseason pairings haven't come out yet, but it's getting close. And anytime you can anytime you can get a win over another quality 2A opponent this late in the season, it's only going to help you out when they start looking at that stuff. So, again, not the cleanest game, but ugly good is better than ugly bad.
Absolutely. Real quick, our McKay Group Radio Keep Playing Player of the Game. I think they both belong to the same individual, and it's not going to go to the highest scorer tonight. Ben Van Weingarten, three-pointer early in the third quarter. Was really the spark plug tonight. It felt like got the Eagles offense rolling in the second quarter, or in the second half, started the third quarter.
Yep.
He found that first one after two really good looks that just didn't go in. It really seemed to spark the offense and get things going. And then defensively, too, I had him holding Andon Watson to – the Eagles held him to 11 points. And, they were all really contested shots, and We talked about it over the break. 6 of those came on really tough looks over Griffin.
Yeah.
And then, he hit 2 free throws there. Outside of that, he hit 1 basket that Ben was guarding him on from 3-point late in the game, and it was still a really contested look. And, to be able to be kind of the spark plug offensively there in the third quarter and then turn around and be able to limit the leading scorer to, probably one of his lowest point totals of the season, that's a really impressive feat.
Yeah, it was, and again, we talked about this at the break too. I'm not convinced he made a field goal over Ben. I think the 3 field goals he had, I think Griff was on him at the time, and every single one of them was a hand in the face, tough look, and credit him. He made the shot, and then he had the couple free throws and got the 3 late. And so Ben's known for his defense, and so the fact that he was able to step up and knock down some just huge 3-pointers at times where we really kind of needed a lift offensively that's just a bonus, But so yeah, I definitely would agree there with Ben tonight. Just giving it maximum effort on both ends of the floor as he always does.
Yeah, that's our McKay Group Radio key play and player of the game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. We'll take a timeout. We'll be joined by head coach of the Pella Christian Boys basketball team, Joe Steinkamp, when we return here on 92.1 KRLS.
Rev up your ride with unbeatable deals at PellaMotors.com. We're dealing so you can drive away happy. Don't miss out on our incredible offers on Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Find your perfect ride at PellaMotors.com.
Is pain interfering with your ability to enjoy life? At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we work hard to find the root of the problem so you can feel better and function better. Choose Kinetic Edge to get back to living a healthy, happy, hope-filled life. We have clinics in Newton, Colfax, Pella, Oskaloosa, Des Moines, Ames, Albia, and Centerville. Learn more about us and our services for people of all ages at KineticEdgePT.com or call us at any of our locations.
When you eat at Culver's, you're enjoying fresh food, not just fast food. I'm Tim Grotenhuis, owner of Culver's Restaurant in Pella, and we pride ourselves on making your order fresh every time. Our never frozen burgers are made fresh just the way you want it. Our chicken sandwiches and chicken strips are made fresh. We don't make them ahead of time and let them sit under a warmer. And we slow turn our frozen custard in small batches all day so it's at its very best. What can we make fresh for you today at Culver's Restaurant in Pella?
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Again, Pella Christian Boys basketball defeats Van Meter 59-53. With our continuing coverage of Iowa High School athletics, we're joined now by head coach of the Pella Christian Boys basketball team, Joe Steinkamp, following their 59-53 victory over Van Meter on Thursday. And, Coach, we talked about this. This was a game that was going to be huge for later on in the season. It was the last time you saw a 2A opponent here in the regular season play, a good opportunity to help yourself out with seeding. And, while it wasn't necessarily the prettiest win, guys found a way to get the job done.
Yeah, that's a good ball team. And, we shot the ball really well tonight. We probably weren't as sharp rebounding or on the defensive end as we need to be or we've been recently. So that's a little bit disappointing. But, we thought it was going to be a tightly contested game, and it was good to be able to get the win.
And, you talk about it, that sharp shooting. It felt like third quarter, the first half, the shots were not falling. And it was almost just, you could kind of sense the frustration because it was a lot of really good looks. It'd be like they're 3/4 of the way down and, the leprechaun or something underneath the basket just pushed them back out or something. I don't know what it was, but, as a team, that had to be really frustrating too. What was just kind of the message to the guys in the locker room to just kind of keep that confidence level up, to keep firing to the point where they were able to kind of shoot themselves out of that slump?
Yeah, I think we were happy. We thought we were getting good shots, but we just kind of talked about getting even better shots. We we thought, they were really putting two guys on Gilbert and really fronting him and loading up on the backside. And I thought we just kind of rushed just some quick shots where Gilbert didn't even get to touch the ball, and a shot was going up. So I thought we were a little bit more patient in the second half. But more than anything, I think just the shots just went in. So if teams are going to do that to him, we're confident in our shooters. We put a lot of work in getting shots up. Trey and Ben were really able to get things going from three, and those guys have been shooting a lot better of late. So it was good to be able to make them pay in different ways. So the nice thing is we're starting to see different types of ways teams defend Gilbert. So we've seen some straight doubles, we've seen some fronts, we've seen him put big guys on him or little guys on him. And to Gilbert's credit, he's kind of has answers for everyone, and it's really even better when his teammates can help make him pay too by knocking down that perimeter shot when he gets double teamed.
Absolutely, and I know we talked about him a little bit on Tuesday night after the loss to Norwalk there, but I got to highlight him again because I think as good as his performance was against Norwalk Tuesday, I think his performance tonight was even better. Ben Van Weingarten, you alluded to him, knocked down the three ball, had 11 points in the game, and then defensively, we were debating it up here on whether or not he actually gave up a bucket to Andon Watson there or whether they were all against other Eagles there. I mean, it is hard to find somebody who can, contribute the way that Ben is able to do on the offensive floor while also being such a menace defensively and limiting other teams' best players to really low point totals.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable this year. He really has bought into his role of being our defensive stopper and did a great job on Tillman from Norwalk. Last game, and then did a great job on Watson tonight. Watson didn't even really get shots off against Ben, which is really fun to see. And then we knew this shooting was going to be coming from Ben. He's a very good shooter. He's proven it in all our shooting drills, especially the last couple months. He's really upped his numbers, and so we have a lot of confidence in when Gilbert draws two that he's going to make them pay. So just a great two-way game to that. 3-and-D all-star that he is, make open threes and play elite defense, and he was brilliant in both areas tonight.
Absolutely, and two other guys to talk about with that, Trey Steinkamp, you mentioned, he was able to knock down some big threes tonight and really kind of help supplement that run in the third quarter that kind of helped you guys get some space that allowed you to weather the storm of the run that Van Meter made late in the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter there. And then Garrett Wheeler, too, I thought today did a really nice job on the offensive end when, they took away Gilbert in the first half. Second half, he knocked down some threes, and they had to respect the three a little bit more, did a nice job of getting to the basket, too, and just really kind of stressing out the defense with, the abilities of the three-point shooting with also that driving ability as well.
Yeah, I liked how both those guys played. I thought Trey did a really good job, especially in the second half, pushing the pace, some nice kick-ahead passes, and then he was able to knock down a couple of threes as well. And then I thought a really big stretch of the game was the two buckets that Garrett made at the end of the third quarter. We just tried to spread them out. Gilbert picked up his third foul, so we had him on the bench, and Garrett was really big in that moment. Two downhill attacks against a good physical defender. Scored both off 2 feet, which is something we really talk about and stress a lot. So those are two big plays, and I think we got the lead up to 9 or 10, or after one of his baskets, and then they had the kind of crazy play at the end of the third quarter where they got 4 points in 7 seconds. So it was just great to be in that kind of game, just a different type of game, and to be able to win a different way. And it's been really exciting to see our three-point shooting come around with so many different guys being able to knock down threes. 9 made threes tonight is really big. So it really becomes really difficult to guard Gilbert when those other guys are making threes.
Absolutely, and again, we're talking to Joe Steinkamp, head coach of the Pella Christian boys basketball team, following their 59-50 win, or 53 win, over Van Meter here on Thursday night. And I got to come back and talk, too, because I know we talked a little bit after Tuesday, and kind of the prevailing thought was the guard play for Van Meter was going to be the strong point. Tonight, it ends up being more the post play of Thummel and Menon and Steinfeld and, some of those guys down low with their rebounding and stuff like that. kind of a twofold off of this. Is one, how beneficial was that to play a team of a little bit more of that size inside to kind of challenge you, knowing that most games you do kind of have that size advantage, but then also to have a matchup where you came in kind of preparing for one thing, but, hadn't played them, so you weren't really sure. You got another thing and had to kind of make adjustments.
Yeah, I think we knew they were a very good offense rebounding team, and we knew that was a strength of theirs. I think feeling them in person, they were even better and more physical than we anticipated. I think we're taller than they are, but they weigh more, and they were just probably more aggressive to the old glass. So we had them at 13 offensive rebounds, which is it's going to get you beat most nights. So we're disappointed in that stat. We take great pride if we want to be an elite offensive rebounding team, and we want to be able to take away those boards for our opponents. And we weren't great on either of those ends tonight. So we didn't get a lot of second chance points, and we gave up way too many. So we'll keep addressing that. It's something that we talk about and work on a daily basis. Credit Van Meter, those three guys actually are just super aggressive. And I think, to me, rebounding is a mindset. And unfortunately, those guys came out with a tougher mindset on the glass tonight, and we really got to clean that up. I think for us to make a postseason run, you can't do it getting beat, that bad on the offensive glass. So I still think that's going to be a strength for ours, but we just can't take it for granted just because we have some tall guys that the balls are just going to come to us. We got to be aggressive, be tough, and go finish those possessions. I think our guards did an outstanding job of forcing a lot of missed shots tonight. But we didn't clean up enough.
Absolutely. And I got to talk about this because this is something we haven't had to talk about too much, but got a big one coming up on Monday. Before I talk about that matchup itself, first time this team or only the second time since Christmas, this team has really had to go on the road. I mean, I know technically Pella gets counted as a road game, but it's not, that's not a true road game. You had the one at Fairfield where you left the Tulip City here. Yeah. Nice, really long road trip. Something that these guys haven't really had to deal with much since Christmas, as I mentioned. What's kind of the mindset going into the next couple days of practice to just make sure that there's, the mental side of things to go along with that, with the long road trip and the excitement. Obviously, there's the excitement of the memories made, but also just making sure that you're ready to go after that first long bus ride and however long.
Yeah, well, I think that first one starts off with the next couple days of practice. It's already been 2 games this week, so tomorrow we'll probably be a little bit lighter, and then we'll really get after it on Saturday. Burlington Notre Dame is an outstanding team, undefeated. Very likely they'll be 19-0 when we play them on Monday. Have a really good 6'4" point guard who's going Division I, signed with I think Western Illinois. So that's going to be a big one. They just have a nice all-around team. I think they're ranked 1 through 3 in all the different polls. So they'll be really good. It'll be a big game for them. I'm sure they'll be really anxious to get up for a big school. They don't play a ton of schools this direction. So just kind of fun to have new rivals and stuff like that. We don't get over there very, very often. So that's a really big game to kind of start that week. So, and it's just fun to go back on the road with the guys. I feel like anytime you travel, especially we're really starting to bond on the court, and it's just good to have that time together off the court too. So we're really, really excited about next week, having, the 2 road games to start the week, and then obviously the rivalry game at the end of the week. So, but we'll take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, keep getting better, keep kind of trying to figure out better ways to, score and defend and rebound, and keep fighting. Just very proud of how our team is, progressing this season, how close they are, how coachable they are. Just really smart, high IQ team. So it's been really fun. It's been a blast. So can't wait to go on the road with these guys, and excited to play another quality opponent. I think Coach Brandahorst has done an unbelievable job with our schedule. Just really challenging us in a good mix of all different types of levels. It's really been really beneficial for our kind of success and our progression throughout the season. So it'll be great. It'll be great to get back at it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to making the trip with you guys, too. I'm really looking forward to being back above 500, right? I mean, I've been on the road with you twice, last year with Central, and we went 1-1 with those 2, with Wesleyan, and then Washington, St. Louis, and then the football team this year. I went 1-1 with Trainer and Clarenda. I'm looking forward to getting back on the right side of that, but appreciate your time as always. Looking forward to Monday, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. That was Joe Steinkamp, head coach of the Pella Christian Boys basketball team. We'll take a short time out. We'll come back and get you tonight's final stats presented by the Verduft Agency when we return here on 92.1 KRLS.